Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right. It's so good to see everyone this morning. My name is Rev Christine Boylan, and welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. And also welcome to everyone who is with us on our Facebook page and on our website. Welcome to all of you also. Now, last Sunday, anybody remember last Sunday? I know it feels like a million years ago. But we had this white stuff coming down. Okay, and so we had a little snow disruptor. So we didn't really get to have our spiritual cafe and sit at round tables and discuss the 8 pillars or the 8 core values of joy. So we are nothing if not flexible. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take those 8 pillars, and throughout the year, on a Sunday, I'll be talking about one of those pillars. All right, and because this is our year of joy, right? So we're going to spread that joy out throughout the world. So I hope that if you did not get the spiritual cafe menu with the listings of the 8 pillars of joy, we still have some here available, and they're also still available on the homepage of our website where it talks about the Sunday service. So you can always download that. A little thing we have today is potluck, and Deborah, our worship assistant, will be talking about that a little bit more. But you may have noticed, if you go into the kitchen, and I'm not asking you to go into the kitchen, but if you do, you would notice that it looks a little different. There's all kinds of signs to say where things are, so people don't have to go, where do I put this? And there's directions for how to make the coffee. And so there's this wonderful term, begins with an O. It's called organization. And so I just had to wait till people got tired of it being disorganized, and then we bring in organization. So then one of the new things is we don't want everyone hanging out in the kitchen. I know you do that at home, right? It's the most wonderful place to hang out. It's in the kitchen. But we're asking you not to do that here because it gets too many people, and it gets a little scary with bringing hot stuff around or tripping over people. So unless you're really working, okay. Now, you say, well, I want to help out. Terrific. Stand at a doorway and say, do you need any help? Can I help anyway? Okay. And then someone will say, oh, yeah, sure, bring this out. Okay. So please, try and be a help by not jumping into the kitchen. Okay. And appreciate all our every people. There are people who are just such joys in the kitchen, and they're here every week, or they especially come on potluck. So thank you for all that wonderful assistance. Speaking of assistance, our board member on duty today is Deborah Giddings. So Deborah, just wave your hand, let us know where you are. So if anything comes up and you can't find me, then your next person to go to is Deborah, and she'll be able to help you out or get an answer for you. And she's like, I will. Now, when you arrived, you should have been handed a bulletin along with the songs for today. And just if you didn't get them, raise your hand, and a greeter will bring them to you. But please help us when the service is over. Thank you for bringing them in with you, but now you must bring them out with you. So when you leave the sanctuary, please make sure you've got them in your hands, and there's a basket in the atrium. Just put them there, and that way we can recycle them. So if you would find that bulletin, on it you're going to find a welcome affirmation. And so if you would please join me in saying that welcome affirmation together. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And of course, here in Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. So if you desire, I would love to help out in some way. I just don't know how, okay? There's a couple people you can see, okay, besides me. Of course, you can always see me. But our board member on duty, Deborah, you can talk to. And I'm also going to ask Lois to raise your hand. Raise your hand right there, because Lois is a good person. Um, Before you know it, you're going to be a greeter, you know. And so see Lois, and she'll help you know all the ropes for being a greeter. Thank you, Lois. Um, and as we said earlier, our 2024 theme, spiritual theme, is jumping with joy. And each month we provide you with a different affirmation based on our theme that you can bring into your daily prayer practice. So here it is, February. All right, our first Sunday of February. So that is on your bulletin, and it reads, "Jumping with joy, I rely on the spiritual power of strength, which enables me to persevere and to establish a purpose in my life." So I'm going to add that affirmation, in addition to being on your bulletin, it also is on the home page of the website, unityhartford.org. So please join me right now in saying that along with me, all right? Together. Jumping with joy, I rely on the spiritual power of strength, which enables me to persevere and to establish a purpose in my life. And as we prepare for our opening prayer, I'm going to ask our worship assistant, Deborah, to light our Christ candle. We light this candle as a reminder to all of us that there is a light burning right within you. You might not always be aware of it. Nevertheless, it is always burning. And that is the Christ potential, that Christ perfection, desiring to be released. It's that imprisoned splendor that wants to be you in expression. So, let's bring that into our time of prayer this morning. This morning we come together in prayer. In prayer we open our hearts. We open our minds. We open our very souls. And as we do, our awareness grows. Our consciousness rises. We become aware that we are one with the divine. We become even more conscious of our connection to everyone and everything in the world. And as we remain open and receptive to this light within, to our oneness with God, we feel a bubbling inside our very heart. This is joy rising, joy triumphant, joy that is yours and yours alone, joy that is yours to share. So in a moment of silence right now, take a moment just to feel the beginnings of that joy bubbling up inside of you. Just in a moment of silence. Joy. My inner joy. My joy within. My joy that is always available. I choose to embrace this joy, and I choose to express this joy. And I am grateful. And so it is. Amen. And so now I would like to invite our wonderful choir to come on up and lead us in song. And we have our special uh, musician guest today. Maylee is going to be playing the guitar. And also, welcome to our music director, Carolyn. Good morning, Carolyn.
Sound booth to turn. There we go. Hello. Yay, good morning. All right, so on your way in, you were handed, hopefully, a sheet with the lyrics to today's songs. So let's locate that. And if you would stand as you are able, we're going to join in singing our two opening songs, This Little Light of Mine and When I Pray. 1, 2, 3. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I watch the news, oh boy, I'm gonna let it shine. When I watch the news, I'm gonna let it shine. Watch the news, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine. When I live in prayer, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. When I want harmony, I'm gonna let it shine. When I want harmony, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go Thank you.
Right here, right now, I pray we always have a glorious choir. Thank you, choir. And thank you for the great guitar background. Well, today truly is a Sunday. We are blessed, and I have a lot of celebratory messages for you. My name is Deborah Wilson. My pleasure to be here. Here's what's happening in our community. We not only have Potluck Sunday, as if that wasn't enough, it is Birthday Cake Sunday. What is food without dessert? So if you are home, for goodness sake, get dressed. Come on down and join us. Don't worry about bringing food, just bring your glorious self. And of course, we also have a birthday cake to celebrate all the February birthday people. And if you have a birthday in February and you are either here in the sanctuary or watching at home, here are the ones that we know of. Michelle Cornish. Yay, Michelle! Ophni Davis. And Sir James Mahoney. That's right. Lisa Betts and Maverick Gallo. So please stand if you're here and let's applaud you. Happy birthday. And we also want to give special thanks to Julie Aylward for the February birthday cake. Thank you so much for donating that. And if some of you say, hey, I'd like to be recognized in my birth month, thank you very much. Please send an email to Tony and we'll be happy to do that. Her email is officemgr@unityhartford.org. In addition to not only a birthday cake and not only recognizing you in the Sunday and e-news recognition, yes, you will receive a birthday letter from Rev Christine. And there's an important happening as well that I'm sure you're going to want to join in on. It started January 30th and will go to April 4th. The Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence organizes what is called the Season for Nonviolence. It's a movement that seeks to bring peace together, people together, to promote peace and nonviolence in their communities. There's more information in our e-newsletter, including links, and there's also a flyer in the atrium which provides more information, which can help you secure the daily practice booklet. So it's certainly something energetically we can send out into the world, and the world needs us. Next February is special. February 11th is when we recognize those new budding lights in our community. It's a special Sunday for children. So during the service, they will meet in the community room, and there'll be 3 caretakers. They will have the opportunity to create Valentine's cards and give those cards to members of their family, and some of us in the church might receive them as well. You never know. So any child 6 years or older is invited, but parents must sign them in and sign out. If you would like to sign up to also help with Unity Kids Gathering, please put your names on the sign-up sheet in the atrium. And if that wasn't enough, you're saying, isn't there more, Deborah? There is. Please make sure in the atrium you pick up a Unity flyer on Unity Writers and Voices, of which Liston and I are proud to be a part. Yes? And it's, yeah, woo, woo. And then it's going to be on Sunday, February 25th from 12:15 to 2. And we're going to present our original inspirational stories, poems, essays, and presentations. And the title, the theme is going to be Gratitude, Love, and Inspiration. So please come and join us. Please mark your calendars. We love to share what we've worked on throughout the year, and we're always open to people who want to join us as well. And invite your family and friends. Everyone is welcome, and there'll be a love offering if you're so inclined. And now it's greeting time. So please stand if you're able, but remain in your pew as we offer each other the Gandhi Blessing for Peace, which is a call and response. And take the time to look at folks as we do this. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Amen. So if you'd kindly have a seat, and if you would join me in our statement of faith, please join in affirming that which is in the bulletin. Together, please. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good omnipotence. Amen. And I'd love to share with you the daily word, which is joy. Joy is mine through all the seasons of life. Throughout my life, joy is always part of me. Like the sun that is always shining, even when obscured by clouds, joy is there in my happiest moments and also during my darkest times. It keeps me present to life as it unfolds, responsive and adaptive, accepting what I cannot change and having the courage to change what I can. Much more than a feeling, joy is a part of me, a way to feel the presence of God and life from my spirituality. Joy is the anchor that keeps me rooted in peace and wholeness and the wings that help me soar above through the open skies of imagination and choice. My spiritual identity has its foundation in the divine idea of joy, and I carry it with me wherever I go and in everything I do. You show me the path of life in your presence. There is fullness of joy. Psalm 16:11. So again, the affirmation, joy is mine through all the seasons of life, and so it is. And now, a moment of joy we can all resonate with. Rev Christine shall shine her light.
I love that girl. All right. Well, this is the time in our service when we have the opportunity to experience and express gratitude, love, and abundance. We know that when we freely and joyfully give, we are opening ourselves up to the universe and to all the abundance in the universe. And so we allow ourselves to participate in that. And one of the ways we allow ourselves to participate is by giving, opening up and giving. And we say, yes, I am a part of this abundant universe. The amount doesn't matter. It's what's in your heart that matters. So whether you're giving today in the sanctuary by check or cash, or whether you're doing it online at our website, unityhartford.org, and hitting that donate button, take that giving and hold it in your heart. Bless it with your love. And I'm going to also ask you to take an intangible blessing to give. And today, maybe that is joy. May we all be joyous. Or whatever other blessing that you would like to share with your community this morning. Hold them in your heart. Let yourself feel as grateful as you can. As grateful as you can to that one true source of all, your God. And then please join me in our offering blessing together. Divine love, flowing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive, and so it is. Amen. Will the ushers please come forward? job. Not my job.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the palette of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space, an eternity of time. It's the moments of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. Deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones, stirs my heart, stirs my mind, and every prayer I've ever known. So breathe, breathe. This inner space, the ocean of your soul. When you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all, and though it will never push you, it will break down every wall. So breathe, just breathe, breathe. This peace for this inner space invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen to. This inner space never knows a past, but in a quiet place, if you can hear it, it might just make you laugh and breathe. Just breathe. Oh, breathe. This peace of this inner space.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was beautiful. You know, I've heard that song many times, but I think today is the first time I heard that line. In all my choosing, I become the chosen. I love that. I love that. Well, today is the final Sunday in our series focusing on the Book of Joy, Lasting Happiness in a Changing World. And as I said earlier, during the year, we'll come back to our 8 pillars or core values of joy. But for now, we are wrapping up this Sunday series with living our joy, being joy. And perhaps that title reminds you of one of our 5 unity principles. Number 5. There's a cheat sheet right behind me. Now that you know these truths, you must live them. It's not enough just to be knowledgeable. It's not enough just to read a couple books. You must put your knowledge into action. And not just for you, but for everyone. So today we'll take a bit of time to review and then explore how to live joy, to be joy. And as we certainly have said earlier in this series, that joy is an inside job. Happiness is so dependent on what's happening in our world. But since everything is temporary, always changing, then so too is our happiness. I'm happy because this person said something nice to me, and now I'm not happy because this person said something mean to me. And so it's always changing. But joy does not need to be a temporary condition. It can be a regular state of consciousness for us if we take a deep dive within. Both of these amazing spiritual leaders, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, both of them say that joy within is not even dependent on any religion, on even an interpretation of religious theory. The Dalai Lama says, sadly, many of the things that undermine our joy, we create ourselves. The suffering from a natural disaster, we cannot control. But the suffering from our daily disasters, we can. We create most of our suffering, so it should be logical that we also have the ability to create our joy. Now, this sounds like we have the power to create our experience of what has occurred instead of being a victim to what has occurred. And again, you've got a cheat sheet behind me. This is our third unity principle. We create our experiences by the activity of our thinking. Everything in the physical realm has its beginning in thought. And the author summarized this by saying, our mind is the axle that often determines whether we experience the ride as bumpy or smooth. I'm going to say it again. Our mind is the axle that often determines whether we experience the ride as bumpy or smooth. Yeah. And I also love how the teachings or the thinking of the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Tutu are right in step with our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore. In his book, Dynamics for Living, Mr. Fillmore wrote, "No one knows all of life's joys, nor will they, until they have come into the full understanding of spiritual communion or oneness with their God. True and lasting joy arises from within. The nature of the deep inner life is revealed only to those who spiritually penetrate into its source." And then he continues, "If you would feed the soul on the joys of spirit, you must realize them and give thanks in prayer for the more abundant life. Then you will find that a great subconscious well of living water will begin to bubble up in your soul. You will come to know that up until now, you have been living in the shallows of life instead of its mighty depths. You will be blessed with the knowledge of the unity of all things and have a great peace and harmony. It is impossible to find a lasting stronghold within on anything less than the understanding that God is a God of joy." Now, there are some wonderful, deep truth teachings here from Charles Fillmore. When we go within, we can experience this light of joy. Because it's when we take the time and go within, we become still. We're able to see with our spiritual eyes, able to hear with our spiritual ears, able to meet the divine, to meet spirit in spirit. And this feeds our soul. This lights the light of joy within us. And then we find it almost impossible not to shine our joy light in the world, your joy light to the world. And yet all of this out here in the physical world, politics, natural disasters, personal experiences, health challenges, personal and collective conflicts and discord, all seem to be trying to take our joy away from us. But guess what? No one can. No one can. It is your inner joy. No one and no thing has any power over your inner joy. And yet, unless, of course, you decide that they do. Yeah. Charles Fillmore in Atom Smashing Power of Mind writes, "What seems calamity turns out to be a source of joy. And while that may seem challenging, each one of you have done that in your lives. And I don't even know the details of it, but I know that each one of you have done that. Might have been a horrible divorce, but afterwards you said, well, but then I was free to fill in the blank. I almost died from this health challenge, but then I became more aware of fill in the blank. I'm still sad and grieving over the loss of, but now, I also remember. I also know. Yeah. Archbishop Tutu said, in order to develop our mind, we must look at a deeper level. Most people never pay much attention to the ultimate source of joy, of a joyful life, which is inside, not outside. Even the source of physical health is inside, not outside. And again, I know some of you have experienced that. So then, of course, our big question, always our big question, is that three-letter word, how. I know, you'd say, what? No, how. I want to do that. How do I do that? Now, in our second week, we dove into some of the very common things that would seem to steal our joy. Fear, worry, stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, sadness, and loss. Man, that list can even go on and on. And both of these spiritual leaders gave examples of how in their own lives they stayed focused on their inner joy, refusing to be reactive to these outer conditions. So you might say, well, good for them, but I'm not the Dalai Lama or Archbishop Tutu. And while that is true, what is also true is that how they react is also how you can react, because there is at least one thing that they do which you can do. And what is that? Meditation. Now, I thank you very much for not audibly groaning, because I know that some of you are desperately trying not to roll your eyeballs and say, thank you. I appreciate that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to have a little practice, a little experience. I'm going to come down. I say this out loud so they know what I'm doing back there. And together we're going to experience several different meditations that are from the Book of Joy. And I'm sure that there are more than a few people here who might be familiar with these meditations. So for some of you, it's a reminder. For others, it's an introduction. Now, before I do that, though, interesting there are spiritual reasons, of course, to meditate. And guess what? There are scientific reasons to meditate. Anybody ever hear of that flight or fight response? You know, tiger eons ago was charging for you and wanted to make you, their lunch. And so you had to decide, your heart's pounding, you had to decide to either fight or run out of there. Right? That response is still with us. It's an evolutionary response. Right? But rarely do we meet a tiger anymore. Okay, and we have to do that. But it still goes on. Our heart goes pounding whenever we have stress sometimes, or we feel threatened in some way. It still goes on. Now, scientists now believe that meditation, or this inner journey, can free us from this evolutionary response so that we do not lose our higher reasoning faculties when facing stressful situations. The author writes that the real secret to this freedom may simply be in extending the brief space between outer stimulus, the tiger, your boss, and our response. Okay? I call it that prayerful pause. That prayerful pause. Meditation seems to elongate this pause and help us to choose our response. This is a wonderful quote. It's been attributed to different people. Personally, I think it's Viktor Frankl. And it says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. So spiritually, of course, meditation helps us to restore our awareness of our oneness with the divine or with the truth of our being. And then when we can then remember who we truly are, we then get to live from that place of oneness, that place of joy. So let's experiment. What I'm going to ask you to do is to, anything you have on your lap or in your hands, just put aside. Okay? And if you can, I know some of you like to sit with your legs crossed. I'm just going to ask you, just because we're experimenting, right? We're just experimenting. We're going to put our both feet on the ground. Okay? It's okay. I'm not saying you must do it this way. We're experimenting, right? So we have a couple meditations that are in here. And the first meditation is a morning intention setting. I remember hearing a joke from a minister. I'm sure it's been said before, but it struck me as funny. And he said, before I even get out of bed, I become conscious and I become one with the divine. And there he is. and my phone rings and I answer it and say, that phone will never go off again. And he says, and I make the intention to truly be one with God today. I will be the very expression of God. And I hold on to that, okay? And then I walk out the door and I leave that person behind, okay? Right? And that's what we do. But setting an intention helps you anchor who you truly are, helps you express, even after you go out the door, who you truly are. So, as most of them do, they begin with, sit comfortably. And I'm sorry if you're a little cold. The heat doesn't seem to be going on today, so we'll handle that later. But it is, I don't know, Tony, do you want to see if you can even get it further up? Maybe it'll kick it in. But for right now, just sit comfortably. And of course, you can do this lying in bed. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes or lower them, whatever comfortable for you. But let's do that. Let's just take our eyes off of this world. So close your eyes or lower them. And then take several long breaths through your nose. And then exhale. And do it again. We're going to do 3 or 4. And feel your stomach rise and fall as you breathe from your diaphragm. Now ask yourself, what is my heart's desire? What is my heart's desire? What do I wish for myself, for my loved ones, for the world? The Dalai Lama has a simple way of testing our intentions. Is it just for me or for others? For the benefit of the few or for the many? For now or for the future? Then state your intention for the day. Today, may I greet everyone with the love that is in my heart. Today, may I be less judgmental. Today, may I be patient and loving with my children. It can be specific, it can be general. And yet, if nothing comes, you might try this traditional Tibetan prayer. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings never be separated from joy. May all beings abide in equanimity, in balance, calmness. And then with another breath, you're ready for your day. Yeah. So come back. We're not done yet. We've got a few more. Anybody have stress in their life? Yeah. So I'm going to give you a meditation, breathing meditation, so you can do it anywhere. All right? You're in traffic. Your boss wants to see you in their office. Huh? Okay. No matter what, you can do this. Okay. And our breath is so important as a focal point, especially when we meditate, but especially for just living, right? Our breath, of course, is internal, but it's also external. Breath is voluntary and it's involuntary. Archbishop Desmond Tutu, he does this breathing in his quiet times, as he calls them. And that's in the pre-dawn hours. He does this. Right? But he also finds the quiet time in the afternoon and at night. That's another way to focus our mind, relieve stress, and concentrate on what matters. So again, he suggests you find a quiet place where you can do this consistently. But I also think you can do it on the fly. Okay. And again, you close or lower your eyes. Have your hands free. And focus your attention on your breath. Breathe in deeply through your nose as your belly expands. As a jug of water fills from the bottom, your lungs should also fill from the bottom. And then we breathe out slowly. On each inhalation, you can think in, and on each exhalation, you can think out. And you can also count your breaths. You can count out 5 to 10 breaths and then repeat. And if you lose your focus, because our mind wanders and wonders, you just bring it back to the breath. And if you're feeling particularly stressed, you can imagine each breath bringing in calming, cool air, and it's spreading throughout your body. Then as you release your breath, you can imagine the stress leaving your body. And we all have those particular places in our body where we hold stress. Perhaps your neck, your shoulders, your back. And you can see that stress, feel it just leaving you. So we breathe in and we breathe out. Now, come back to me again. I'm in Connecticut, and I'm always amazed. I grew up in a city, Philadelphia, but I came to Connecticut, and you guys are just in love with nature, aren't you? You guys are just in love with nature, and it's amazing. I love it. And so Archbishop Desmond Tutu does this, and many of you do it also, I know, is a meditative walk. Okay? Because you can. You can be walking and using that as your meditation. There are a couple things, though. So what is the difference between just having a nice walk and doing a meditative walk? Okay. One is if you're doing a meditative walk, there's no distractions. You're not talking. You're not on your cell phone. Now you're not even looking at your cell phone. And there's no music. Okay. The goal is simply to listen to the wisdom of the Spirit that often comes through the wisdom of the body. Right? The goal is simply to listen to the wisdom of the Spirit that often comes through the wisdom of the body. Okay. So you can also use your walks as a meditative tool. No distractions. There are many other meditative techniques that you can use. Almost all, if not all, of them have the same goal of you breaking your attachment to this outside physical world and going within and being more aware of that inner world, that spiritual world. Okay? Because yes, you are a spiritual being, and yes, you are a human being. You are both. And our arduous task, and at times it seems arduous, but more you practice, it becomes glorious. Our task is to merge the two, to be this spiritual being in this physical world and loving each moment of it and being joyful in each moment of it. So I would invite you to also, when you get up in the morning, or anytime, especially if you get annoyed by somebody, is to practice a compassion meditation and just holding this person in mind and saying, may you be free from suffering. May you be healthy. May you find peace and joy. Would anyone like that for themselves? Yeah. So guess what? You can do that for yourself in a time of meditation, in a time of just going within. May I be free from suffering. May I be healthy. May I find peace and joy. So as I wrap up this Sunday morning talk, I want to just leave you with a couple quotes that you've heard before. The Dalai Lama says, discovering more joy does not, I'm sorry to say, save you from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. In fact, we may cry more easily. But we will maybe laugh more easily too. Perhaps we are just more alive. Yet as we discover more joys, we can face suffering in a way that ennobles rather than embitters. We have hardship without becoming hard. We have heartbreak without being broken. Archbishop Desmond Tutu says, the goal is not just to create joy for ourselves, but to be a reservoir of joy, an oasis of peace, a pool of serenity that can ripple out to all those around you. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this advice from the Archbishop. You are made for perfection, but you are not yet perfect in expression. You are a masterpiece in the making. Today, this week, this year, live the truth you know. Enjoy the process of becoming the masterpiece that you are, and be the joy to the world. Namaste.
I love that. Be the joy to the world. All right. So now is the time when we're going to form a circle. However, that may work for you as a collective group. And then we are going to sing together our Unity Peace song. I do kind of love watching this communal process and just the teamwork, right? All right. Looking pretty good. Let's take a deep breath and we're going to sing together our Unity Peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
If you wish to remain standing in the circle, please do so for our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. If you could find your way to our seats, that would be great. And as we bring our service to a close, Rev Christine turns off the Christ candle, but we all know and affirm that our Christ light can never be dimmed or diminished, for we are always one with the divine.
Thank you, Deborah. And isn't she the best? She is just wonderful. Thank you, Deborah. In addition to Deborah, there are many others who helped with today's service, and so thank you to everyone. Certainly our wonderful hospitality team. I just saw them all scurry out. There is another change with that hospitality, and I know that there's oftentimes food that is left over, and that's really not going to stay until next Sunday. So that food is going to be left on the table in the community room, right? And there'll be some plastic containers and bags and things like that. So don't come into the kitchen to get the leftovers, okay? Wait till the table is cleared of things that will be hung on till next week. And then those things that we would love you to take home because we don't want to see them go to waste, we'll leave them on the long table in the community room. So thank you for helping us do that in an orderly way. And thank you to everyone who helped out with getting everything ready this morning. And of course, if anybody can stay and clean up, again, talk to our people in our hospitality. And Natalie, you're going to be around, right? Okay, so see Natalie. The other people scurried back in there, but see Natalie if you're not a regular on the team and would like to help clean up. Thank you. So we also want to thank our tech team, and that's Jim and Marty and Julie and Tony. Thank you so much. Our greeters, and that is Gail and Patty. So thank you so much. Our ushers, which was Angela and Deborah, thank you. And of course, our wonderful choir. Thank you for leading us in song. Yay, the choir. I also want to thank our prayer chaplains who've been holding us in prayer. And we have a prayer chaplain with us today. If you would like one-on-one prayer time, you'll be able to pray with Joanne. There she is. And she will be up here. So if you do have a prayer request, just come up to Joanne and ask her if she would pray with you. She'll take it from there. You don't need to know anything else to do with that. However, you would like to write down your prayer, in the pocket in front of you is a prayer request card. You can fill that out, and you can take it to the table that's in the corner in the back of our sanctuary. There's a brown prayer box, and you can put that in there. And while you're there, please feel free to light a candle and take an affirmation card to use in your daily prayer practice. If you are not here this morning in person, but watching us online, then you too can receive prayer just by sending us an email. Send it to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. That'll go to our prayer chaplains, who would be delighted and honored to pray with you. And of course, they'll keep your prayer request in complete confidence. Another point of request for everybody is that in a few minutes, when this service is over, we're going to ask you to quietly and quickly, briskly, leave this sanctuary, meet us in the atrium, or go right into the community room, get that cup of coffee to warm up, and because we need this room to be quiet so that people can pray. And so please do that favor for us. And I know you all want to talk to each other, but just do it out in the atrium or the community room. Thank you. We have a packet of information about this church and the Worldwide Unity Movement that is available at our welcome table. Again, that's out in the atrium on the left. There's an alcove and there's a table there. And please pick up one of the welcoming packages. It has information about this church and has information about the Worldwide Unity Movement. If you're not with us in person today, but it is your first time, send us an email. Send that email to officemgr@unityhartford.org. And when you do, please include your mailing address, and then Tony will get that welcoming package in the mail to you. Thank you for those who are first time visiting us in our sanctuary, as well as those online. Thank you for bringing the blessing that is you to all of us. We appreciate you being here. And finally, but not least, I want to thank our wonderful music director. What's our final song?
Thank you. Okay, so we thought we'd be a little silly today and express our joy to the world by singing The Other Joy to the World by Three Dog Night. So if you would please join me in singing this. Let's stand, let's grab our lyrics, and we'll just have a little fun, okay? Thanks. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said, but he loved to drink my wine. Sorry, I'm wrong. I'm nervous. Okay. We're going to do it again. I'm scared. I'm scared of this song. Yeah. Okay. Jeremiah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine. He always had some mighty fine wine, singing joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. If I were the king of the world, tell you what I do. Throw away the cars and the bars and the wars and make sweet love to you. Yes, I make sweet love to you, singing joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. No, I love the ladies, love to have my fun. High flying, night fire, rainbow rider, and a straight shooting son of a gun. A straight shooting son of a gun. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the world. My technology. Joy to you and me. Joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Trying to use less paper, so this technology over here is a new adventure for me. And sometimes the sun shines right on things, and you need to see them. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. Thank you to everyone for helping me sing and for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you next Sunday. You can be here in person or online for 10:30 celebration service. Don't forget about meditation service on Facebook on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And as you go through your week, be open to the joy in your soul and share it. Thank you.